Make sure you tap that bell so you never miss a video.
So one of the big reasons why I talk about early access titles and how what some people would say roast developers and games when they come out onto the store and they're just in piss poor states. One of the main points that I always try to drive home is, yeah, the developer's shady, yeah, the developer's not putting their best foot forward, or yeah, the game is complete trash, but over all of that stuff, there are no checks and balances on Steam's end to really protect the consumer. It's all pretty much consumer risk, and everyone says, well, you bought it, you took the chance, and that's it. There's no developer accountability, and that's one of the reasons why my channel exists in the first place. When we talk about Kickstarters and early access games and all of these crowdfunding and new ways of funding development for games, in every scenario, there's no developer accountability. We've heard things where Kickstarters are so mismanaged that people start filing lawsuits and it just gets like a huge fucking mess. Steam has implemented the refund system, so for games that come out and are just absolutely god-awful, border officer, you can refund them in a quick manner. But what happens when games are on the store for years at a time and you put hours and hours into the game past the point of refunding, past the 14 days ownership, and then the game just disappears? What happens when developers just stop updating the early access title? That's what's going on right now with Black Day, which is a tactical shooter that is on the Steam Early Access platform, something that I apparently missed when it first came out, I believe in 2017. September 18th, 2017 is when the game actually came out. And to be fair, the game has come out to very positive reviews, and you guys are seeing gameplay on the screen here. It's being made by Helios Production, which, as far as I can tell, is a one-man studio. So again, one of these situations where one person is putting a game out to early access, which is going to be sold in early access for forever, essentially forever. And that's why when I like to go through the Steam store page and look at what they project for their games, like how long is this game going to be in early access, the red flag for me every single time, regardless of who's making it, what the game is when they say the game is going to be done or completed in 6 to 12 months. 6 months, 1 year, we all know that shit happens with game development, and when developers put such a quick projection on completing a project with no foresight into what could happen in the future, it's always a red flag for me. Black Day, I'm looking at it, he says, it's hard to know the exact how long, but I estimate it would be 1 year to complete my goals and release. So if I would have covered this game back in 2017, it would have been an instant red flag for me, and I would have talked about it even though the game actually looks pretty good. That 1 year red flag always bothers me. And rightfully so, because now we're looking at some news that came out on April 8th from the developer Helios Production, and I'm going to read the entire statement in full so you guys can understand maybe where I'm coming from when we talk about early access and the lack of checks and bounds. So April 8th, Helios Productions. Dear gamers, I'm so sorry. I don't give news since 2 months on Black Day. Don't worry, I continue to work on my game with a smiley face, but I have less free time since 2019. Maybe it requires some explanation. So one thing right off the bat, we know that English probably isn't his first language, and we know that he's about to be really transparent in this post, which I have to give him some kudos. Thank you for at least starting to be honest here. He says, I'm a dad with a big smiley face and take care of my sweet daughter need many times, like change diapers. So he's taking care of a kid. I get it. Life shit happens, right? And then it goes on to say, I'm hired to work official missions of Arma 3 future extension, with brackets, cannot say more. I'm hired to work AI system on a VR game. So basically what he's saying is he's been hired to work, I'm guessing by Bohemia Interactive, to work on Arma 3's future expansions. And as I'm recording this commentary, I noticed that Arma 3 creator DLC, global mobilization of Cold War Germany. This is a new, basically a DLC made by like official developers working in the Arma 3 engine. I don't know if he's involved with this specific one, but I have a feeling when he says like future expansions, that's what what it's going to be is this creator DLC program. So basically, new quality content made by external developers, published by Bohemia Interactive. So while he might not be hired by Bohemia specifically, they have this like creator program where you can apparently develop and actually make like licensed DLC for the game. So I feel like that's what he's going to be doing. I'm hired to work for AI systems on a VR game. Here's my problem. Here's my fucking issue. If you would have left it like, okay, I'm a dad, take care of my sweet daughter, need many times like change diaper. I get it. At the same time, that's still kind of a shitty thing because people did pay for a fucking product that you promised was going to be done in a year, which is now going on 2, but at the end of the day, at least you're being open and honest. But the fact that now you have taken on more work working with Arma 3 and working on a VR game as well, it's incredibly tough to look at this and say, damn, good for you. When people have purchased a product that is, at this point, in my opinion, based on what I'm seeing and what I have seen in the past, this game is never being completed. And this is why I go through the store, and this is why I look for red flags in the production of, basically the presentation of what you're promising. If it's too good to be true, if there's no like future vision on what could potentially happen down the road, and you say it's gonna take you a year, it never takes a year. Like, stop saying it's going to take a year, developers. We all fucking know that it's going to take longer because early access games take for fucking ever. Especially when you start to take on other work, which I'm guessing is in necessity to keep your family with a roof above their head. And that's the thing, I'm so conflicted on this shit because it's real people behind this stuff. And I understand that you need to keep a cash flow coming. It's the same thing that happened with Epsilon. It just didn't sell enough. Again, another tactical shooter. It just didn't sell enough. It came out in such an early state that people weren't willing to jump into it at the current moment and spend the money to do it. And you have to do something which then leaves the development to almost like a side project and a hobby. And that's why I say there needs to be, on Valve's side, some checks and bounds for developers and projects on the early access platform. Because mark my word, I know in my heart that this game is never being completed. And if it is going to be completed, it's going to take him an astronomical amount of time, to which people are eventually just going to forget about it. And to be honest, Black Day actually isn't that bad of a game. I've only played a little bit of it, but I gotta say most of the systems they have in place for like an old school like Ghost Recon style tactical shooter, it's pretty good. It actually has a lot of potential. So it's really disappointing that this is happening. My name is Bigfry. Let me know what you guys think down below. Again, I don't want to rip into this guy. I just want to mainly focus on the fact that this shit happens every day with early access, and this is part of the reason why my channel exists in the first place. So leave a comment down below, and if you guys do enjoy the content, make sure you're subscribed and liking the videos. We're fighting against the algorithm, and we're growing like crazy lately, and I just want to thank you guys for everything. So I appreciate you. My name is Bigfry, and I'll see you on the next one.